I got these pint cans, and I've got 2 more on my wheelchair, but I've got a wheelchair there with fucking loads of beer in, so we'll see.
Should keep us going.
Topo's not answering. It looks like he's got face on because the Instagram post I've just made.
Wow, what did you put?
That he's going to tell us how many engines he blew up last year. So it looks like we're just having a beer with you tonight, Darren.
Well, yeah.
Okay, cool. I might try and ring him again in a bit. So what we've been doing on lockdown?
It'll probably be good without him for a little bit.
Yeah, not so much bad language, and we'll call it banter, but it could be bullying.
I did see Martin Wonacott commented, and he said, "Geez, he said you two on there. It's going to be bad."
Very bad.
Yeah.
So what have you been up to then, mate?
Yeah, I've been just sort of. I quite enjoy relaxing, doing nothing really. So it doesn't really affect me too much. I'm quite happy to just living a life of recluse and do bugger all. Suits me fine. just obviously missing the drifting like everybody else, you know. I'm sitting in the car ready to go.
Is that the only difference for you? You're just not going drifting. Everything else is the
same. That's about it, mate. If I hadn't running my car around to Jack or working in my other garage, my car, I play wheelchair rugby, but other than that, I don't really go out and do a lot. You know what I mean?
So that's kind of the thing. If anybody don't know, Darren is in a wheelchair. Are you paralysed from waist down? Is it?
Yeah, pretty much. They call it T12, which is like your last thoracic vertebrae. So just above the sort of belly button down, really.
And you drive your car with hand controls, all with your hands, and
yeah.
Is it your car that they call the finger flicker?
The what?
I'm sure. You're sorry.
Surprise me. It is now, and I'm good at finger blasting. I think that's another phrase.
I heard that he taught Stu everything he knows.
What about finger blasting? No, I'm sure. Is it? I couldn't remember if it was yours or the guy from Hoonigan who drives with his hands. I'm sure they call one of the cars finger flicker or something.
Yeah, I know his name's Chair Slayer, but I don't know what his car's called. My car might be finger flicker around the pits, but I ain't got to hear it just yet.
We'll call it the finger blaster instead.
Yeah. Finger blaster. Oh, Darren and his finger blaster.
Yeah. So how did you start drifting, Darren? What got you into it? Where did you see it? What made you think I'm having a go at that?
I suppose it stemmed from I've always been a petrol head, and I've done motorbikes, you know, I motocross for years, and then, like we said, talk about the chair, that's kind of how that happened. And then I still want to do something. So at the time, another guy in a chair through when I was in Team Legless, met the guys from there, and John put me on to Flat Out Factory, and at the time they had a MX-5 with hand controls. So I went. Yes, yeah, they only had it for a little while. I mean, I think I fucked the car up, to be honest, and wrecked the gearbox. I went along and Will Carter was instructing with him then, and he took me for a 1-to-1 at Brands Hatch, and yeah, it just went really well, and I was kind of hooked from there on. I mean, we started literally. I'd done a bit of banger racing, you know, when I was walking, if you like.
Yeah.
So I could drive to a degree. Just got there doing some donuts and, you know, figure of eights, and then I was linking the track by the end of the day, and then I think from there forward I just was on eBay and I bought my S13 that I still have today, which is the one that's gonna, you know, I'm doing up currently at the minute. You've seen some pictures of that.
Yeah.
To just bring that back, and I still have that car now, and yeah, that's where it will start for me. So
you got that car. You obviously did your Flat Out Factory days. What, do you do a few practice days and then think you're going to Drift Cup? Or
yeah, it took me. I drifted for about 2.5 years before I even tried to enter Drift Cup, because it's I don't know. Did I feel ready? Did I not feel ready? I suppose it's one of them things you think. You always just start, don't you, the little tracks, like going to the smaller tracks and the smaller venues, and then I remember my first Rockingham day, I was like really nervous, thinking, you know, I'm going to a proper track here, and then I started being able to mix it up with a few people. I thought, do you know what, this is I'm doing all right. I might try some competition, and then it's a progressive thing, and then done some Drift Cup, done some RDC, had better results with RDC than Drift Cup. Really, that comes down to when I suppose. Probably jump forward a bit here, but that's why I wanted to build the car I have now, which was the manual car, because all I was doing in competing was just wrecking automatic gearboxes. I mean, Paddy will say the same. I I reckon a drift cup, I reckon nearly every round, the main failure was a gearbox. You like, if you left foot brake in a gearbox, an automatic, and just putting pressure on the brake all the time and throttle all the time, I think the torque converters just don't like it, and they just bend and brake, and the gearbox just falls to bits, you know.
Could you not get like an upgraded torque converter for him, or is that not a thing?
There are things you can do. I mean, I got speaking to Julian Smith, and when they'd done the stuff for Fast and Furious, they had like the Range Rovers, and they'd done all the trick stuff in. They were autos, and they had on the handbrake they'd have a switch, and the switch would go to the gearbox, and then that would like disengage the pump, so the gearbox then wouldn't be getting hydraulic pressure while you're trying to stall it. And they done stuff like that. So it's all things you could try, you know, and things out there. But I don't know, really. It's there's so many more tools within a manual car, isn't there? You know yourself. I mean,
the manual works better, obviously, doesn't it?
The clutch kicking and stuff like that.
You can skid an auto. Don't get me wrong. I had a blast in mine for 3 years, give the thing absolute death. But that's just if you do fall offline and stuff like that. Whereas you can, you know, it's easy to left foot brake with a if you've got some sort of clutch, or even like hydro to extend and stuff like that. There's tools an automatic car a manual car brings to the job that an automatic car just, I'll say it can't do it. It's a manual car does it better in my eyes.
So how long have you been when did you start drifting, like, and how long have you been competing?
I started drifting in 2014, I reckon, because that was soon after I come out of hospital. That's the first thing I was looking to do, was get in a car. So I think I might have my lesson in the winter. I come out of hospital.
Did you have your accident, Darren?
That was 2014.
Oh, right, same. Right, so, okay, yeah.
Yeah, this August, I've been paralysed for 6 years. Yeah. So literally come out of hospital and I just talked to guys, you know, like I suppose the same as anything, things like that happen. You join these Facebook groups and start talking to other people. Then I met a guy at rehab. He had left the rehabilitation centre and come back, and he was a.
This the alcoholics bit.
Finger nurses and things like that. Yeah. No. And yeah, so he come in to see me, and he'd done his in a motorbike as well, and he come back into rehab and showed some pictures of him riding a motocross bike. And I was like, bloody hell, he just had these bars that he strapped his legs to, and his mates pushed him off, and off he went. If he fell off, they just come along, picked him back up, started and just pushed him off, and off he went again. He's like mad. So and he gave me a lot of kind of influence, really, I suppose. And like everyone has say, find you inspirational, but for me at the time, that was inspirational. And
I can imagine.
You know, what can I do now? And
I suppose that must have been quite good for you, though. You know, like to give you, you know, obviously in a situation like that, then you see somebody who's back on a motorbike. I bet you're like, this is it. I'm going to do something myself.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. Adam, do you remember? I can't think of his name. Was it like when we used to Lydden Hill all the time? That year we went down there. A guy called was it Danny Campion or something like that on a superbike.
Yes.
And I believe he had
one arm and one leg.
One arm, one leg, was it? Something like that.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it. Like same thing. They'd sort of get him onto the bike, and then just sort of send him on his way, and he was quick around there. He was
flying,
yeah, it was ridiculous.
There's a guy who goes on a track near me at Snetton. I'm not so far from Snetton racetrack, and he has got, I think he's got one arm, and to watch him how he can actually hang on to the bike, because you know I should ride like 1 litre bikes. So when the accident happened, you know, we've got nice roads around here. And you think hanging on to that thing, I mean, yeah, you do lean a bike, but to get what you really want to do, you've got to like pull it and push it and dig your legs into it. Think how they going that quick. It's I did get a quad for a little while. I had a Raptor 700R, and I actually sold it to that guy Hanson Shepherd. Funny enough, he'd come to see me in rehab, and after about a year, and then a few times I took it out and then got on the field, and I did nearly crash it a few times, and just thought, you know, I kind of lost a bottle for it and thought, right, I'm done. I'm going to flog this thing and you know, get because I could just see myself coming off in the field somewhere and then having to bring the missus up, so I can't get back on the bloody thing.
Can you just, yeah?
Like, come find me, please. Yeah.
What did you used to do? What did you used to do before accident, like for work and stuff?
I knew this was coming. I was trying to think of a really good answer for you, but I thought that I used to drive, well, operate actually. Used to operate tower cranes.
Oh yeah.
Is that my word?
Oh. What were the words? I can't even remember what the words were. I can remember Topo's. What we planned for Topo.
What was his?
Rebuild, obviously.
Why was
Shall we just set a word now?
Got him.
What, for us three?
Yeah, just for all three of us. What
like drink?
Yeah.
Mate, I don't think we need an excuse to have a drink, do we? Look at three of us. What a pair. What's that? Why was the crane thing so funny? I can't think. Was it just because we were pissed, Darren?
Well, we were in Germany, weren't we? At Iron Drift Kings.
Yep, road trip over there.
And I suppose I want to start chatting with people. I don't want to say like I was a lazy bastard, because actually I don't really work anymore. You know, I kind of have a business going, which is I rent property, but I like to mix with the boys. You know, I'm be a grafter and a lad like everyone else. And I suppose you kind of miss that bit now because that's not what I do. I mean, I don't miss it. It's just, you know, I suppose when I'm talking to lads, I go, yeah, I used to be a crane driver and drive 360 diggers and was a grain worker, you know, and get amongst it all and used to build skyscrapers and all this sort of stuff. You know, I travelled.
And I imagine Topo were giving you a lot of shit at this point. I have got it written down on my list about Germany to ask you a few questions.
It was a good trip, wasn't it? It was good mission.
Quite a bit of banter.
Who else were there? Ross were there as well, weren't
he? Yeah, Ross Barr. Yeah.
Yeah, there were a lot of taking the piss. Oh my God, who's that? Is that Ben?
Press camera button up bottom of your screen, Topo.
Where's that?
I can see him.
Can you?
How are we doing, mate?
No.
What, mate?
I might have messed this up here.
Adam, I can see him, but it looks like Ben. I can just see his head.
How about?
It's technically worse.
Oh,
what are you doing, Adam? Like
I don't know. I can only see you now.
Topo, can you remember why it was funny that Darren were a crane driver?
No. What, when we take your piss out of him?
So, Topo, now you're here. Do you want to tell us a bit of your drift history? Where you started, why you started doing it?
I can't really go into that one, mate.
I don't know, but I like your forehead.
That better?
That's it. That's better.
My arms aren't that fucking long. I'm not like you, sat in my car.
Why don't you just put it outside somewhere?
Yeah, look at that.
What's that? Oh, your simulator.
Fucking load of wank.
We'll talk about that in a bit. I've got that written down on my list of stuff to talk about. I know Darren's got one as well. But come on, Topo, tell us a bit of your drifting history. Where did you start? How long have you been doing it?
I've been doing it about 6 months in total.
You drive like you have been.
Who's that going from Spin King? Who comes skid risk and fucking spun out? Half a lap.
So you've driven 6 months, but in how many years have you had 6 months worth of driving?
About 8 years, I think, is it? Something like that.
You've been driving 8 years?
About.
Yeah. 2011-ish we met him, Matt. So
it's dragged, hasn't it?
So do you want to tell us a bit about your drift history, Topo? When did you start doing BDC?
Mate, I can't remember.
Have you ever actually done a round? Or are you just in pits pushing your car about?
I'm pushing car around mainly. I find it good fun. Are you getting fed up at your drinking beer yet, Matt?
I've had a few nights off. I don't think we did it for the last couple of nights, so I've even missed Adam.
Yeah, we had a night off last night, didn't we? To get liver arrest.
You still fiddling with your car?
Who, me?
Yeah.
Yeah, mate. Still can't work.
Did you find it yet, Matt?
Not yet. In stock. It'll soon be in stock, mate.
Yeah.
So, favourite drifting moment? We'll let you start,
When
Darren.
I beat you...
Can I start?
Hang on.
Let me
when
start.
I beat you,
I'm starting, Topo.
Come on,
Hang on, I think we should introduce Topo a bit more for people who don't know who he is. This is Ryan Toporowski, who drives the Driftworks Skid Risk S15. The one that's always been seen pushed around the pits and stuff, painted up like Hulk. You'll have probably seen it.
It's not being pushed, it's freewheeling.
Have you done more engines or tyres?
Not since we've had lockdown, mate. No, it's been quite good. It starts up quite well now on trailer. It's mental.
Does it?
Yeah.
So, Darren, your favourite moment, most memorable moment on why you've been drifting?
I would say RDC last year at Driftland, because I managed to make top 8, which is my highest ever climbing anything really. And then that was just same as always, just a silly mistake. I got knocked out on that. I had quite a good. I was chasing first and just come into a corner and just put too much left foot braking in. Here's a joke for you, Topo. When it in my come into a corner and just put too much on. We put some fresh K-Sport front brakes on the car that weekend, and I'd gone from the R33 calipers to them, lent on them a little bit, and that was it. Just fucking locked up, and that was done. But yeah, that was quite good. Really, that's the furthest I've ever climbed in competition. And I had Ollie Bolton was there, and I was practicing with him, and I was with him most of the weekend as well, and it was looking good. I thought, yeah, something just clicked there. We'd done a few things to the car. We'd done a winter's quick change and drive shafts and stuff. And I went there with an open mind just to test it. I went there just to test the car. I like the RDC as well. That was what I had in my head, just to go check everything out, make sure everything was cool. And the car was just sweet, just flying all weekend. And so yeah, that was my best weekend, I think, as a climber. First I ever climbed in competition.
How do you actually drive the car, if you don't mind me asking? Like your controls and stuff? I could see if I can flip it to show you. I can see the little picture. So yeah, you're sort of there. So this is my controls. Like that's my throttle, like that. Okay. And this is a clutch for clutch kicking, because the clutch is on air. So you push that, and the clutch is on the air with a master cylinder on the end. So let it off, clutch off, push it on. And this is up gears, that button there, and that's down gears. Bear in mind, obviously, this is a NAV8. And to be fair, we could probably put away in third gear, leave it in third, and never change gear on a whole run, especially with the winters. And then push it forward like that, like it's front brakes, and pull it back like that. And that's a hydro.
What if you want all 4 brakes?
Sorry?
What if you want all 4 brakes?
You can jump in. You see, you can have a go. I'll let you drive it.
I'd like to, but I know I'd be terrible.
I actually let there was a joke there, because I actually let Martin Richards have a go, because Martin's always Martin's set up my cars, and Bonbon done the first alignment on this when we built it. Yeah. So I was actually going to I think we're going to Teesside the next day with Pro Drift. I love them days, but it's a shame I don't go on him so much now, because Martin is not really. Well, I don't think he's been doing the instruction there now. You know what I mean? And they were great for me, because the input he could put into me as a driver is brilliant. But anyway, so he had to go in the car on hand controls, and my claim to fame is I can drive this car better than Martin Richards. On
so he said Martin Richards is shit. Is he shit?
Yes.
Well, I think he got a bit confused with all the fingering. Maybe I'm just a good finger blaster, as we were talking earlier.
He's not very good with his fingers, Martin, isn't he?
No. Not as good as me, anyway.
Finger blaster.
I wonder why I've seen Tesla loitering around your pits.
No comment. That's like. I need about 2 bottles of wine before I start going that harsh.
Get the wine down here, Darren. Let's start it going.
Yeah, that's in the fridge, mate. If the beer runs out, we'll be good.
So what about you, Topo? What's your most memorable moment drifting?
I don't really got one, mate, because it usually goes tits up after about 3 or 4 laps, doesn't it?
So what about you? All right, your favourite party at the track after? Because I know there's quite a bit of partying goes off in Skid Risk pits.
Ireland were good, weren't it? When we had drinking after the IDC.
Have you had a rough day, Topo?
Me, I'm bollocks, mate.
What have you been doing?
You don't want to know, mate. I've been on full lockdown.
He's been to Tesco's.
One trip to the supermarket and you're done.
I've had to go get nappies out.
Do you know what my best moment is? Remember at Rockingham? I think it was maybe 2 years ago when Topo got that cone.
Oh, for the wall.
Yeah, I forgot about the cone killer days.
That one lap that you did, it was like Martin Mitchell jumped in your car and pulled out something savage.
It was only 3 laps I got that day, weren't it? I got 1.5, and I did that one.
Yeah.
The thing that nobody told you is I was actually driving Topo's car at that event.
Oh, were it
I
you?
broke. And it was me who hit code, not Topo.
It wall.
You just ruined me story.
No, it
That's
was
a good
Topo.
point, that is, Steve. Oh, yeah, that was quite good of me, wasn't it?
I'm surprised you don't tell that story more often.
Oh, look, we've got the family.
Hello.
You alright, mate?
Hello. What are you? Polly, say hello. Say hello.
Hi, Polly.
Hello.
Hi. Say hi. Hi.
Hi.
Hey,
Wait. She's going for me.
Sounds like Kermit.
Get
So-
on that side is you.
Get off outside, yeah?
Dad!
Shut up. What are you doing in here anyway? Go on.
Topo, why aren't you sat in your car?
So in drive, mate. I can't be arsed. It's nice and warm in here.
It's because he's been eating that much on lockdown. He can't get his leg high enough to
Mate,
get
I've been on
toilet.
2-day diet now. I had him on ripped.
Have you?
Yeah.
he's out.
Yeah.
He can't even hold himself up straight, Gaddy. He needs his arm to hold his head up so large. You get some strength in your arm.
He looks he's like a broken man, isn't he?
I've trained my legs today, mate. It's hard work when you train your legs.
Have you trained him? Walking to the car?
Mate, in my gym. In the gym, mate.
Where is your home gym?
It's
Next
on
to
the side of that
simulator.
sofa.
This is where I'm at talking about all bike riding I've been doing.
Leave it. On his electric bike. So, both of you have got pretty savage spec cars. Do you want to tell us a bit about them? The stuff you've got in them, what cars they are and stuff?
Yeah. So this PS13 body, I bought this shell from Ryan Pofkari. He was going to do something with it, and I think obviously he then, like a lot of people do, decided he wasn't going to carry on with it. But that was ideal for me because I just wanted a shell, and that is all I wanted. I didn't, because what we had to do to it, I didn't want anything in it. Not one wire or anything, nothing at all. And that's basically what he had. That had come with just on standard 13 suspension and a steering rack so we could steer it, but the shell was mint. I think we could do like one little patch on it. The shell was absolutely mint. That was nice to transfer in at my wheelchair. It's in the same.
He's driving it better than you, Topper.
100%.
I'm breaking. Come on, Paul. Pull it.
Go on then, Darren. Yeah.
So I went V8, and the reason for going V8 NA was you haven't got to keep clutch kicking all the time. For me, the way I have to drive is just one less thing I haven't got to do. You can almost just throttle kick this, I say as such. Like just give it full beans and it will just break traction. Unbelievable. So I went for a crate engine, reliability, and completely stock, unopened engine, LS3 from Parts World Performance. That had a Sicky insulation kit. So I got like a big baffled sump on it, like 7 litres of sump alone. We went Sam Solar's box. And the reason going to Sam Solar's again is we can set it up with an electronic actuator on the gear stick. So then you can have like flat shift. Like we said about the blue button and the green button earlier, you can push the button. And the button, it's running Link ECU and the Link Extreme, and the Extreme does have a flat shift program. So when you push the button, up the gear clutch, and then 4 of a second later, that will then do the shifter. So you can flat shift in the map of the car. I didn't have a
Topo. Sorry. Topo, can you just go away from kids? Because it just keeps picking kids up rather than Darren.
1 minute.
We'll get in your car, pal.
So yeah, I had GTR diff in it in the beginning, but I think I broke one at Driftland. Mike Walton let me one to carry on that weekend, but I think after actually Julian, he pulled a diff a bits, and we think the reason that it was breaking GTR diffs, which are a strong diff, This is a flat shift that's quite aggressive within the car. It's when it changes, it snaps quite in. So I had to teach myself not to. You've got full throttle, and when the gear comes back in, that will rev match. So you have to lift the throttle a bit when you do your gear changes. And that was shearing like the LSD baskets. So it wasn't breaking the shaft; it was breaking internally.
Could you not just welded the GTR diff rather than having it as a limited slip diff?
Yeah, I suppose I could have done. That probably would have worked. But then the great thing of having the Winters as well is obviously the gear ratio choice.
Darren's like this. Fair Winters.
Bolly, big bollocks, isn't it?
I'm definitely not going to die the richest man in the graveyard. I can tell you that.
But you'll have plenty of toys around you.
It's best way, pal. Best way.
So yeah, we went for the Winters just to future-proof the car, because like when I go to events, I do have people come along with me. I'm sort of stuck with crew at the moment, but I also just want to have a reliable car. It's frustrating for me not being able to really. I can work on my car. I've got a 2-post ramp in my workshop, and I can do a lot of that. But I just need a reliable car. So like I also got a Bailey Morris 1-piece 4-inch prop. The car really, with the engine producing it produces 510 at the wheels. And the car really is made bomb-proof. To be honest, is the only complications I ever have had has been the air clutch, but that's just been like the wires within the paddle and the curly coil lead with drifting.
Where your steering wheel spinning.
Yeah,
There was something broken the other day when I seen you at Norfolk. What was that? Power steering problems.
Yeah, that was that the car just needed another map, really, to be honest, because we'd only ever mapped it once since it was new, and Jack just think the engine had settled and the idle had gone a bit funny when it shut down. So he just remapped the car a little bit, just changed it a little bit because obviously the pistons were all bedded in and stuff, and the sound now. That was just the engine was stalling.
My LS did that last year as well. Halfway through the year, it wouldn't idle properly, and it cut out every so often.
Yeah, we put a fast idle switch on it now as well. So when I'm on track, I can just flex that, and that'll hit $2,000 and then go up and then back to $2,000, rather than before that like tick over at say 900 RPM. That'd go to 8 and then come and then rise back up. But the way it's done it now, it just never go flick that switch and it'll never go under $2,000 while you're on track. And that's quite nice actually, because in a transition, I quite like it because from drifting autos, you get that push on with a torque converter, and that suits me because it's similar. It's similar, yeah, in pushing the car on, and I quite like that.
So
I'd like to have a go. Can I have a go next time with somewhere where I can not
break it,
kill someone, or
break it? Don't let him out, fucker, mate. He'll break it.
You just need.
You need a crane.
You've also got your other S13, your old one, which you are rebuilding at minute. What's happening with that one?
Well, that's another thing that's escalated a bit, like Martin said. Matt said,
LS3, Samsonus, Winters.
It's having a savage RB, that one, isn't it?
I had an RB25 that Dave Yandell had machined, and Jack Tonkin, who built this car, he would then built that car into a short block. But then this RB26 turned up from a guy who's been building engines for 30 years. I actually don't know him.
That took him a long time.
Should have took it to top and we get one done in 5 minutes.
Fucking hell, I could have one whipped up in 5 minutes and fucked up in 6.
He's just making that point topper. You didn't want it to fuck up, you know what I mean? So this RB26 company, and he said, for what you want, if you just want to buy this. So that worked out quite well for me because I traded the 25 in with Jack, and that worked out well. That was a fair deal, and I got the 26. So it's like a fully built 26. It's got hyper polished crank. It's got like mental rods in it, high compression pistons. The head's been gas flowed. I've now just bought a Nitto pump for it, oil pump. I got the sump off Lorza.
Oh, right.
That she had. So yeah, that's going well. And then I had and suspension wise, I already had wise fab on the front. It's got HSDs. I stripped all the suspension all off it, sent it off. That's all been powder coated. That's going to be a pretty nice car. It's all there. Jamie Briggs has put me a cage in. I had a bolting cage in it, and I want to have 2 cars that are spec.
Our pit crew bought that off you, Sam. Sam who pits us bought that off you. So it's in his S13 that's for Drift Cup this year.
Oh, right, yeah.
So what sort of gearbox you running on that one? The standard box or
Yeah, well,
a fancy job?
Yeah, well, running a 350Z box to start it's the same thing as a second car, so I've got to draw the line somewhere. Like Matt says, I would love to set it up like this, but that ain't cheap, you know what I mean? So I'm gonna run a 350Z box in it, and all we're gonna do then
Auto, the 350Z auto box.
No, manual. But then what I'm gonna do is, like in this car where we talked about having the clutch on there and have a paddle on the steering wheel, we're just gonna put another button on the gear stick. So like when you change gear, you just push the button on the gear stick, that would give you full clutch, change gear, let your foot off and put it back on the hand control. So the gear stick and the hand control set up pretty close together with the shifter. So it'll just be a case of just moving my hand away very slightly, and we'll just put a lockout on it. And with the power I have, we're also going to run nitrous on that. So with a G35 101 size housing. So we're hopefully that we can set that up again and get the gearing right, that'll literally should spool quite early, and it'll do about 8,500 RPM. That will have quite a usable part of power with the nitrous, so I shouldn't have.
Sorry to put in here. So will your throttle be on your handbrake like on that car that you're in now?
Yeah, exactly the same. Yeah.
That'll be hard, won't it? So you have to go off that onto gear stick.
Have you not seen his fastest fingers in UK? The finger blaster.
The finger blaster.
I am the finger blaster. That's like, do you want me to give you some lessons?
I mean, I think I'm all right. I'm all right at that game, but I don't think I could do that.
Yeah.
What, the fastest fingers?
I don't know. I feel like I feel a bit inadequate, if I'm honest now. Hearing these stories.
It's a good job he's not in tower.
Do you want to get it in there, Matt, about you being single again? Just in case anybody's watching who's interested.
I don't think the the demographic I'm after is watching this.
All right, we'll let you off then.
The demographic.
What about
Just in
you,
case,
Topo?
I'm single. I'm ready. I'm waiting. I'm joking.
Free and available.
What about you, Topo? Tell us a bit about your car, pal.
It's a 3.4 stroke 2JZ with Samson's box in it. About 700 brake.
700 times it's broke, or 700.
It's roughly about the same, yeah.
What, 700 engines and it's running 700 brake?
No, I think it's only had 2 engines last year.
Fuck off, you did one every event.
No, we broke every event, but I've only changed engine twice.
Oh,
And
the
rebuilt
block.
6 times.
You only changed the block twice.
We've got another one of them, haven't we?
Technically speaking, it's still got the same piston in.
Triggers broom.
So 700 horsepower S15, stroke JZ, Winters diff, Samsonus.
Yeah,
Why aren't you
Buck
winning, pal? Why aren't you winning?
I'm just
That's
waiting,
pretty
mate.
much-
I'm like a coiled spring. You know, when you're coiled.
That's
Just
pretty
waiting,
much.
mate. Just waiting.
You just
I
waiting.
had it all sorted out. I've actually got it working and fixed and everything working mint.
What are you waiting for?
You to sort the fucking job out. Keep cancelling events.
It's a little bit above my pay grade, mate. I don't think it's me who's cancelling shit.
Have you seen Formula Drift have set out a new calendar today?
Yeah, because it's Mad Men America. They're just cracking on with life, aren't they?
Oh, fuck it, then. Why would nip over there?
Starts in July and finishes in end of November.
Yeah, Trump said they'll be sorted by every Easter, wouldn't it, mate? That's it. That's all kicking off again.
I think they've got 10 more minutes to be an inside house for them going out, I think.
Do we think we could have a round in November in UK?
Can't you find one where it's snowing? Save
Yeah,
on the
but-
price, Mark. Find somewhere a bit colder for us to go. Like Snowdon, top of Snowdon. You get a little bit of track up there.
That's a great road there. That'd be savage. What
I think for Buxton this year, we could do some knobblies and some snow chains.
Yeah, you save on tyres.
Yeah, definitely.
So you've had a bit of bad luck, Ryan, with your car. Do you want to go into it a bit, or do you just want to?
Well, I borrowed it
brush
you.
over that
You
one?
broke it, didn't you? When I let you drive it that day, you wore engine out, leaving it in second gear, going round track like a queer.
Right.
That wore my pistons out for that round. Because it only lasts for a day and a half, you know. That's its limit.
So what were the things? What went wrong last year? Where did it all go wrong?
When I had it built and the overside of the bores, the bores were too big for my pistons, so it kept burning, kept going past the side of the pistons and burning the heads and valves and just generally losing its compression. So it did that, kept lifting ringlands, melted 3 sets of pistons, and then I had it all
So you
straight.
only had two new engines, but it melted 3 sets of pistons.
Yeah.
No, we had 2 new blocks.
2 new blocks.
Oh, 2 new blocks.
Yeah, 2 new blocks, a crank, 3 sets of
Your
pistons.
engine aren't blown unless you need a new block.
Right.
It's not blown unless you've got a rod through its side, eh, man?
It's Wayne McGee said sometimes you just got to throw the rods through the block to achieve things in life.
I think he's right. When was the last time you blew an engine properly?
Bit of shit of a BM, wasn't it? That old donkey had its Skyline
Yeah, the BMW8 in Skyline.
when he did it at Silverstone.
What did that do?
It was still running. Does that still count?
Not with a rod out, mate.
They
Oil was
rod out, didn't
squirting
it?
oil was squirting out one side of the engine and water was squirting out other. And there was smoke coming out.
They were quite
exhaust.
impressive, man.
It's like a train in a fucking
It was hilarious, like putting it on trailer, just seeing everything just squirting everywhere.
Love a squirter. Have you ever blown one up, Darren?
I thought you were going to ask me if you'd ever made anyone squirt.
That would be the
Remember,
next
I
question.
spoke to a friend.
What, with them fingering skills?
Really? No, I killed my CA in my 13, and then the first car I had, then it went to SR, but I've never actually had a good old dramatic blow up. No, smash for banger racing. I just wrecked loads of cars, man. We're just like, you just carry on driving, but you no oil or water. Fuck
Is
it.
that what you used to do? Banger racing?
Yeah, a little bit, not huge amount. I was just more mechanic with a friend who I raced. That's funny enough. My number is number 72 obviously in the BDC and in Ireland, and that is the number we used to race when I was racing bangers. So yeah, I've done 50, 60 banger racing. I suppose more like pit crew in that. My friend I used to bang a pit with was pretty good. You know, he's done well in some world finals, and he was figure of 8 champion for a little while, stuff like that.
When you say you've done 50 or 60, do you mean you were there? You were driving?
Yeah, he watched him.
50 or 60. I've probably driven in 50 or 60 races, but like in total, I was involved in banger racing for 20 years, as in like, you know, with him as a pit crew, and then the cars I just got in were just for a crack. We just go along because within East Anglia, there's so many ovals here. Is like, you know, you got Kings Lynn, you got Swaffham, you got Ipswich, you said Yarmouth, didn't I? Yarmouth as well. You know, there's and then you got like,
Fucking hell,
Yeah,
sounds like next BDC.
sorry.
You could do with telling Matt a few at chat.
Don't tell him that fucker. We'll be around fucking ovals for the rest of the year. That's hard to like, not very light, yeah. Fucking yeah.
That sounds good.
Yeah.
One way to get back to me, wouldn't I? I have to fucking drive up and come and see you boys in Yorkshire to even get a sniff of a bit of fucking drifting.
To get a sniff.
So you both bought simulators in off season.
Yeah.
What we're thinking to him of how we're getting on with them? We'll let you start, Darren.
Well, at the minute, mine's just still on the Xbox because I just bought a sim rig and then made up like a push-pull controller with a throttle. But in saying that, I have spoke to a guy called Al Loke. When I first started building this, he helped with the controls. He's in Team Brit, or one of the managers of Team Brit. Like, and I got speaking with him now.
What's Team Brit?
Well, Team Brit is a team, and they are mainly
Team Brit.
Yeah, they do.
From Poland.
Sorry, mate. And they do stuff with soldiers. I think it's mainly soldiers, like amputees or post-traumatic stress disorder, stuff like that. They race in British GT4s, and the car's obviously all adapted for people with disabilities.
Chunk was driving one, weren't he?
Yeah, Chunk was driving for him for a while. I think he'd done a season with them.
Is M3?
No. One
do,
series.
BMW. I think it's a bit like BMW Compact Cup, but I think it's a 1.6. I can't remember the actual series. But yeah, he was driving for him for a while. I think he'd done for about a year with them, maybe more than a year. He was doing all right as well, I think, as far as I know. And well, that was originally Chunk who put me on to Al Loke, because I think they're actually, you know, they were friends before Chunk was driving there. And he said, you know, immediately, you want to build your car, here's the man you need to speak to. So that's how that's how I met him. Then after I built my sim the other day, which is like the one I put on on Facebook, showing people what I've been doing in lockdown for something to do.
Before you spoke to him, you got yourself a normal sim and then you converted it yourself to hand control, didn't you?
Yeah, and then I got so then Al commented on that and he showed me, said this is a steering wheel that I made for a simulator for our drivers. So I start thinking, here we go, and I start thinking about it for a couple of days. So then I rang him up and said, well, actually, Al, can you build me a hand controller the same as I have in my drift car? And show him what I'd done, sent him a picture, explained this button does that does that. He said, yeah, no problem. Sent me a quote. I've paid him 50% of the money, and currently it is being built. So he's going to support me with TeamViewer as well when it comes, so I can plug it into my. So I bought a gaming PC, getting that all set up. Obviously, the rig I have with the steering wheel and that I can use that. Bought a Thrustmaster wheel. So as soon as the hand controller comes from him, we can plug it into my gaming computer. Then with TeamViewer, he's going to help me set it all up. So I will actually be able to drive in Aristo Corsa with exactly the setup that I have in my car here, and with the other car being the same. So the good thing for me, I think that will help within the muscle memory more than anything, is because the only time I get to drive this car with these setup of hand controls is when I'm at a racetrack. Other than that, when I drive on the road, it's just like a push-pull, pretty much standard disabled hand controls. So the only time I get to drive with all this funky stuff going on in here is at a track. So I think with that'll just be more of a relaxed situation, because I won't be thinking about what I'm doing. I'm hopefully that's going to work that way. It's just
the more you do it, the better you'll get.
Yeah, just going to happen, and I'm going to get more into it. And so that's I think that's the thing for me. That's a massive game changer, not just because obviously you released the tracks the 2 weeks earlier, which I haven't been able to practice on full stop anyway, so I'm lost for about half a day until I find out where I'm actually bloody going. But not only that, I will be able to be doing exactly what I'm going to do in my car.
You should pay attention in briefing. That's what you should be doing, Darren.
What's that?
Should what?
Paying attention in briefing is what you should be doing, but you know where you're going.
Says the man who just talks all the way through it.
Took me 3 years to find out what I'm doing.
They're always upside down, and I'm trying to work out where the hell I'm going. It's like I need to set it on the land, mate.
What about yours, Topper? What about your simulator? Are you getting on with it, pal?
My sim's absolute bollocks. It's all right, but it needs setting up. It needs fine tuning. It's either that or I can't drive anymore.
I was going to say, it's never your fault, is it, mate?
That's a totally different conversation that I had with him earlier.
No.
I bought this simulator. Tell him what you said to me earlier.
It just needs setting up right. I've got all the wrong settings in it. It's an absolute twat at the minute.
It's broken.
I keep shoving it right front room.
I spent a fucking fortune on this simulator and it's shit.
Everything's good on it, but it's just the settings are all wrong. I need Chris to do it all and sort it all out. I ain't got a fucking clue, mate. I've got all of switching it on.
Chris sorted up. Chris logged on and sorted all mine out. Sent me away in James Dean's fucking E92. We're still shit, mate. It's not like driving a proper car.
Well, I don't think it's going to be, is it? But it's a bit cheaper.
Yeah.
How many engines you done on computer?
I've just started it up today, pressed on button, and it went come straight on. I'm quite surprised.
We don't have to put no easy start on it like that.
No, mate, no.
Push right living room.
I shout at kids to give me a shove with mass.
With mass?
With mass.
Yeah. For anybody who hasn't been to a BDC event or whatever, if you ever go, you see Topo's car getting pushed around pits quite a bit.
Mate, it's only because I keep getting tossed to build my fucking engine. I had a bit of slack in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to do some name dropping?
No, mate.
Fucking hell.
We ain't got all that.
I've got to go to bed soon. I've got to be up tomorrow.
Never his fault, though. Never.
Never, ever.
Well, I remember the last time when it shit itself, and I says to you, I reckon it's fucked. And you went, no, just shove it. I went, no, I reckon it's fucked. No, shove it. So next thing, we pushed it through pits for about 20 miles. And then I've got it fucking tied to a big backer American truck, fucking terrorising up Three Sisters, about 80 miles an hour, dropped into gear, it started up. And then you used about 20 litre oil to do 2 laps.
Yeah, I come in. I went into his pits a bit later and went, the fuck's all that outside of your car? the full side of the car were covered in oil because it was chucking it out top.
Jesus, man.
Oh, like Topo, I don't think that's right, mate.
Well,
you
you
told
reckon
me
it
to
were all
start
right?
it up.
Start off.
Yeah, when I got there, you'd already run your battery flat, so it sounded like battery was flat. So
That's where it were it? The battery flat.
Adam, just like you thought Ash's car were all right.
It were. Ask Ash.
Oh, he did tell us.
He collected it from your garage and said that
Bottom end's knocking its tits off.
No,
Well,
mate.
Adam broke.
I didn't break anything.
Never
So
mind,
anyway,
folks.
boys, who do we think is going to win BDC Pro and Pro 2?
I've been thinking about this one a lot, really, and it's pretty hard, isn't it? Like there's some good drivers coming into Pro 2 that haven't driven for a while that I think could actually do it, and I think also some of the drivers that have moved up from let's say Pro last year to Pro, I think are quite capable of taking Pro. I actually think like this is probably quite a wild card to say, but I think Louis Edwards with more power in a car that he has now is going to be quite.
Has he released what car he's doing yet?
He's put the LS3 into his BM because his new car won't be done.
Has he released what the new car is though?
No.
So I won't say.
I did speak to him a couple of
Do we
weeks
all
ago.
know though?
Does anybody think or be surprised at a load of bollocks?
Sorry.
What?
Does anybody think or be surprised at a load of bollocks? Like, oh, fuck me, it's got a special colour to it. Oh, I've done this. It's a load of fucking bollocks. It's a fucking car. Who gives a flying fuck? I've sneaked it under the sofa. No fucking knows where it is. It's a shitty drift car, mate. It's a shitter. That's all it is. You know what I mean? I'm not telling anybody.
Old man is, can't you?
I'm not telling any fucker I've got special trick nuts on this one. Nobody knows it's a fucking drift car. You're going to smash it into the wall.
I want one of them self-guiding drift cars. I do. That'd be fucking well sorted, wouldn't it? I think even with like just with the LS in that E36 is going to be. I mean, the way he drove the car when he had one of the most underpowered cars on the grid, and also running road tires. Don't get me wrong, he wasn't even running semi-slicks. He was running the tire that we run over in Ireland, which was like a Westlake road going pattern tire. So he was running with that and no grip, and still keeping up with people that are running twice the power and capability of a car that set up with loads more grip. So what the lad did.
When he was in battles, he was running extreme tyres.
Right.
Because I got pulled against him when he moved up when he was driving in Pro. And I was talking to him
you have a
about
quick
it
look
then.
at his tyres. You check these tyres out, Adam. You didn't let fuckers down.
Yeah, mate. I was checking they weren't illegal ones. I didn't want to get him knocked out by a young'un, did I?
Yeah. What compound you got on there, mate?
No, I was talking to him. I was asking him about him.
You're right, though. I think he could do really well this
Yeah.
year.
He did well. Whether he could take it, I mean, obviously you got Martin Wonacott, which is one of the obvious choices. It just his driving speaks for itself all the time. He is someone that could take it. Even though people said it to you, and you're here now, like yourself, Adam. You are potential there to take the win.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be stuck in his fucking car, mate.
I just had a fluky year last year.
He's got too much weight up back end now.
But after this lockdown, I don't feel
You're going to need a fucking crane to get him out.
Yeah, but
Need a what, mate?
And he's got no. So.
That's why I've got soft top on. So Darren can get a crane and pull me out.
You got some fucking Vaseline. That's what you'll be needing.
So, what about you, Topo? Do you think's winning semi-pro and pro?
Mate, you know what I'm like. I don't think half at fucking drivers' names.
I know. I've written a special question down here for you about this later.
Yeah, I like to pay attention to who's driving and who's driving what and what colour the car is and what we did and all the rest of it. You know what I mean? I don't really find it very interesting.
So you don't actually like drifting, you just like building your engine?
No, that's fuck all to do, mate, because it's been working for a bit. I might go home and go outside and chuck something in the engine so it fucks it up.
Do you like drifting?
Not really, mate.
He likes driving that lorry.
Yeah, I like the lorry. The lorry's cool.
No, though, is it?
He likes Hulk in his lorry.
Is it finished yet? Is the new lorry finished?
Is that coming from fucking dog truck? Your fucking recovery wagon's got fucking Duke all over it.
Not
You
anymore,
don't talk about Duke. That's like talking about your kids you're not allowed to see anymore.
Yeah, like Duke on lockdown.
The Duke.
So you don't know anybody?
Who, me?
Yeah, you don't know who's going to win.
Should we go
Bye,
to bed?
Polly. Night.
Get to bed.
Bye.
See you, Polly. Bye. On beach. Yeah, so I don't know. I haven't really got a clue what I would.
You don't know, don't care.
We're having it.
At least you're honest. They're having it.
Yeah.
So, your car breaks. Whose car we borrowing? I think you're a bit
Topo's
hooked on
used to
this
this.
one, Darren, aren't you? You're stuck with Paddy's.
That would be the first choice, but yeah, that would be if my legs automatically started to work. I would just use Popeyes to go fucking blow it up, just so it could blow it up again.
Who's Topo's?
Mate,
Yeah.
it's been built by an expert this time. I've actually found some fucker that can measure an hole.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose, like, all in all, I mean, my kind of car really that I love, it would be Hayden Cruikshank's car.
The new one.
Yeah, just because of the engine that's in and how much power it's got, it'd just be nice just to experience something like that.
What about you? What about you, Topo?
What
You
car?
don't know
is it?
anyone.
We've got to BDC. Your car's broke.
Fuck me. I can't fucking believe it. What you forgetting, Adam? By the time that car's broke, I'm back in pits and fucking on beer. So it doesn't matter, does it?
Oh, so you're not.
I'm like, fuck the drifting, get drunk.
So, but you're allowed to take anybody's car, anyone that you want. Whose car are you going to take?
I'd take Nate Chivers just to smash the fucker up. Didn't know, just upset him and rip my hand off it or something like that.
Yeah.
It was George and George.
George.
From Gary and George.
Probably Garage George.
You thought it said George on his top, didn't you?
I've been said no. I did keep telling me it says George. He said it's not fucking George. It's like, you George as well. You George. Fucking hell, load of Georges.
What's that about?
It's t-shirts. They say garage on it, don't they? And I keep telling him it says George.
It says
Keep
GJ
winding
at the
up.
top. And for some reason, Topo thinks it says George, so he's been
I
calling
keep
them all
telling him it
George.
says George and it winds him up.
Oh, the GHD.
Yeah, George.
GDH. GDA.
GDA, that's it, yeah.
What's the
GHD,
other?
they're straighteners, aren't they?
No, what's Ollie Silcock's team?
That is
That's GHB.
right.
What Wayne Keever used to have on his car, isn't it?
GHB. What
not
about
GBH.
you used to take when you were a kid?
GBA. Yeah.
In that
See
date
what these
rape,
two
that
used to
one.
get up to in the younger years, Matt.
In that date rape one, that one.
Yeah.
Darren, that's date rape, innit? That GHB.
Weather's nice.
But we're getting on to this. Dream cars. Money's no object. Engine. Chassis.
It's not with these two, is it?
No, I know, they
Normal
both got
day.
them, haven't they? Yeah, sequential, winters, whatever.
They built
engine
them.
on.
They both built them. Topo's built it 6 times over.
Yeah. You got to keep doing it, mate. I tell you
And
what.
Darren's doing
I
a
could probably
spare.
build the fucking thing myself by now. I've had it to pieces that many times.
So, money's no object. What we're building, Topo?
I don't know. Probably E90, something like that. A 92 with an LS3 in it, something like that.
I wonder where they were going with that.
Probably have it blue.
What with DKM outside, Matt Stevenson on door.
Yeah, that's just like my panty dropper, isn't it?
Have a
The
nice
panty dropper.
Eh?
a nice breather hole in the side of the block to
Yeah, to get rid of that
Cool.
extra ponies. Pony duck valve.
What about you, Darren?
Sultan Agassi beat me to it. I was always thought about it and actually was going to build an Aston Martin DB9, but buy a ex-GT4 car. You can buy them as a Roland shell. You'd be surprised what they go for. You would probably pay for that as what you'd pay for a S15, to be fair. And then
So are you letting everybody know the secret sauce now?
nah, he's done it now. I can't keep up with him, man. He's a multi-million tycoon.
He's got a few quid, hasn't he?
Yeah, but no, that's I think that's what I'd like to do. I'd like to have done an Aston Martin with a LSX, and then all the rest of the frills, Samsonas, sequential box. Yeah, that would have been what I'd like to do.
You
What
still
would you have, Steve?
Me, I'd probably get like a BMW or some sort, like a blue, maybe an E92 or something like that.
92.
Written off one, yeah.
No,
we're
man.
clapping at rear end.
So what would you do then, Adam? What would you do? What would be your car?
I'd
Something
just
really
take,
small to make him look bigger. It's some small penis syndrome.
Doesn't take much, does it?
I'd take Justin Polak's Mustang from FD, the full carbon fibre Falcon one. I'd just take that one. That's a perfect drift car for me. Like,
What the fuck are you going to do with that?
BDC.
You'd be no good going around hills in that fucker, would you?
So, then the last one, I wrote this one especially for Topo.
Oh, thanks, mate.
Because I know he don't know any, he don't watch any drifting, don't do anything. Favourite driver?
It's you, Adam. Oh, milky tits.
Thanks, I'm only driver you know.
Yeah, that's a person name I can remember.
Name an FD driver.
James Dean.
No, one from this side of the world.
Well, how the fuck do I know?
An American one. Come on.
I don't watch that shit.
What about you, Darren? Favourite driver?
Sure, entertainment. I like watching Aramis Vascalis, just for the way the guy drives. When we done T-side backwards and you're watching him, you can see through what's happening from the car from the outside. He's got his foot on the brake and he's got his foot on the throttle, and both pedals are down flat out on entry, like left foot braking. Fucking no hydro, just like throw it and boot it. That is like, yeah, I just like him just for the flair of how he drives. Just nutcase. But very good.
He is a nutcase, yeah.
Yeah, you can see from watching him, he's literally, he must just be lifting himself out at seat from having his great feet on brakes and accelerator at the same time.
And then say for per driver per skill, I'd probably say Connor Shannon. As in just so consistent, just so smooth, just line after line after line after line, you know, just unbelievable.
Topo's good at that.
You know.
Yes, 15.
So we've been going for an hour now, lads. So I think that's going to be enough.
I think that's plenty.
If anybody, I think we should have a round of applause if anybody's listened to that much bullshit.
I'd put money on that's going to be your lowest viewed one, mate, listening to Topo.
I don't know, because I put a picture of his on Instagram on my story of everyone shoving his car through pits where he's saying Topo's going to tell us how many engines he blew up. And I've had so many laughing face replies to that Instagram story, it's unreal. So a few people might listen to it just to listen to Topo chat.
Just a quick one, Steve. 152,000 views, I think I've had on me. Bit of a video, mate. You know what I mean? How many did you get for Blue Shitter? Or hairdresser car?
We'll just tell you.
Or Black Dragon.
Let's just explain this a bit. We'll explain the Black Dragon.
I thought it was called the Finger Blaster.
The Black Dragon.
It can be the Black Dragon from now on.
What is the Black Dragon Finger Blaster? At least I haven't blown up.
My car doesn't blow up anymore, mate. Not since it's got all its new bits on.
So yeah, if anyone's still watching and wants to see Topo's car, go to the Grumbelow Facebook page and there's a video in the Topo.
Yeah,
how many views?
152 or 153. I'll have to have another look. I'm available to sign tits at any given point. Darren, I'll charge double for yours, mate, with sizing them.
Right, no problem, mate.
That's another thing I forgot to ask you about. The naked pictures you keep posting on Facebook.
What, the dolphin?
Yeah, the dolphin. You got no hair and you just smooth like a dolphin. If we'd not already called you Finger Blaster, we're going to nickname you Darren the Dolphin.
That's fine. That's fine.
What did you do, Darren? Did you shave yourself up?
Do I shave myself up?
Yeah.
No, I get my missus to do that, man.
Is she?
Yeah.
Cool.
Full body
Steve ain't got
shape.
one. If you didn't know, he's still single.
Still single with 3 kids.
Yeah, single, 3 kids, 1 each council house.
How can you speak? Arc at him.
Arc at him.
Oh,
You, Topo. How many 18 kids you got knocking about in different cities?
I've just got a few, mate. I'm like a sailor, 1 for each port.
Right, this is enough, boys. That's it, we're calling it. I will leave this chat running so we can talk a bit of bollocks, but anybody who's watching, this is it. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah.
The
See ya.